Well guys, good afternoon. I thought I'd share something interesting with you. I'm preparing to take the engine out, and the chain sprocket cover has to be taken off. And I read the manual, and it has 4 bolts, and you have to take off the shift lever and the left foot peg and all that kind of stuff. And it has 4 long bolts. That's all that needed to be taken out. And these 2 in the center, those are okay. You can keep those in. I've actually, for the better part of an hour, tried everything to get this sprocket cover off. And that's the nice thing about internet and the forums. I found somebody on a Kawasaki forum that had the same problem. He tried everything to get this thing off, and it wouldn't budge. And the way he explained it was exactly how it happened to me. The top end started to come loose, and he could really pry it loose, so that went okay. And the bottom end it stayed stuck around the clutch peg, and it amazed me. And eventually, he mentioned in his forum that he was able to get it off. So you have to take it off in a straight manner. That's important. And clean the clutch peg, and just keep on working at it, and all of a sudden it just pops off. Here it is. Now this is amazing. You know, I've never done this before, so here I am removing all the bolts that were necessary, reading the manual, and I'm thinking, okay, why isn't this thing coming off? Well, that's the reason. It was just completely stuck on, and there's so much junk on the inside. I mean, have a look at it. It looks terrible. Now that just caused it to be stuck on the bike, so that didn't help at all. Now this has been taking up so much time. So I have already loosened the chain, the primary chain, so I'm now able to take that off and slowly work on the rest of the preparations to take the engine out. So I'll get back to you again. Just wanted to let you know. Speak to you later. Bye. Well, just to give you an update, I'm starting to get a sort of a love-hate relationship with this bike. There's a sort of a sprocket chain guard on the front, and of course 3 bolts, of which 2, and I was extremely careful, 2 of them stripped out, of course, so that's going to be some work again. The 3rd one is still in there. It's difficult to find any room to get the chain loose, and I've been looking for the chain link. Haven't been able to find it, so I thought I just might as well pull off the rear tire, and that went quite easy, to bump out the axle and just drop out the rear tire. So that would give me a little bit more space. Maybe I can find the link in the chain so I can take the chain off eventually, because I need to do that anyway if I'm going to pull the engine. It has to be done anyway, so I'm just learning this whole process, and it's a lot more work than I expected. So I thought I'd just keep you all up to date with all these steps I'm taking in the preparation phase to take out the engine. So I've already been busy now for 2 hours, and the only thing I've done was take off the sprocket cover, ruin a few bolts, and take off the rear tire. And taking off the rear tire, or the rear wheel, was actually the most easy part of all. But anyway, as soon as I get the chain off, I'll get back to you. Okay? Speak to you later. Well, I guess all things in life don't come easy. This has been a tiresome one and a steep learning curve. The only thing I have is a Kawasaki user manual in PDF form, and the internet information that I can find on all the subjects that I need information on. And so this is the first time, so yeah, it's not turning out to be as easy as I thought. As you can see, I accidentally, nothing I can do about it, snapped all 3 bolts holding on this chain guard. I was lucky in a way that even though I snapped the bolts, the chain guard came off. So that helped, and I thought that would help me to remove the chain off the sprocket, Well, forget it. That's not going to work. There's not enough room to get the chain off the sprocket. And of course I've taken out the rear wheel, so that isn't really helping me at all at the moment. I've checked the whole chain for a link. I just can't find it. So I'm thinking this is probably an original and a very old chain. So I'm getting rid of it. I'm going to saw it and throw it away and get a new chain. Because also when I've been moving the bike and turning the wheel, there's a lot of noise coming from the chain. So it has to be replaced anyway. And as you can see, it's not very, it's doesn't look very nice either. So I'm going to saw the chain, take it off the sprocket, and get moving on the rest of the engine to make the final preparations to pull the engine out. I'll get back. Well guys, I'm completely beat up. I finally got the chain off. As you can see, that was a hell of a lot of work. It took me about an hour, but I guess that's what happens when you don't have the right tools to do everything. So you just have to make use of what you have. So I actually ruined about 2 blades, metal blades on my jigsaw. It just wouldn't go through. It is so difficult to get through this chain. It's amazing. So eventually I took a very simple metal handsaw and finished off the job. Now, as you can see, it doesn't look like I did a nice job, but I mean it's going to be thrown away anyway, so I don't really care. This is what had to be done. It was a lot more work than I expected, and this is what it's looking like now. And I'm going to call it a day for today. I've been working on it now for about 3.5 hours, and the only thing I've been able to do is take off the chain sprocket cover, as I explained earlier in this video, and took off the rear wheel, hoping that I would be able to take off the chain, which was not the case, and then cut the chain. So I'm going to be throwing that one away, getting a new chain, and tomorrow I have some other things to do with regards to engine removal preparations. I still have to drain all the oil, so that I'll do first thing tomorrow, and after that I'll set up the rig I was talking about to use a car jack to lift the engine just above the bottom end of the frame, and then push it over to a wooden box that I still have to make tomorrow. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pull the engine tomorrow. It might be the day after, but yeah, things have been a little bit more work than I expected. So I'm going to leave it for today as is, and pick it up tomorrow again. Speak to you later. Bye bye.